Hello, my name is Cheyenne Herrera and I am the supervisor of the EFS Help Desk. This presentation will not cover the details on how to file. We currently have a web seminar available on our main website entitled Filing Strategies, a Roadmap to Success that covers these how to file basics. This presentation will cover the system enhancement commonly referred to as the correction reentry tieback, what it is, what it does and does not do for you, and of course how to use it. In addition to the late filing changes that are discussed in the 2011 late filing seminar available on our main website, we have also made changes to the EFS entry and filing process to assist agencies with the handling of late filings. Every effort has been made within our existing late filers report to keep re-entered policies due to correction off the report, and they will be kept off if they match on the following data elements: agent or agency, policy number, policy effective date, and total premium, which is the premium plus the policy fee. This means that if those four things are the same from the original filing and the re-entry of the item, then we can effectively know they are the same and keep those re-entries off the report. As you can imagine or may have even experienced, there are many situations that are not handled by those four criteria. Because of this, we have developed a method for the agency user to essentially tie the re-entry of a policy back to the originally filed transaction during the re-entry process. This method uses our unique policy ID that is assigned to each and every transaction. And once the re-entered policy transaction is tied back to another policy filing, the original policy filing will be used to identify a policy's lateness, not the latter re-entry. Because the 60-day filing requirement only applies to new and/or renewal policies, binders, confirmation of coverage, etc., this tieback option will only be included on new or renewal transaction screens, not for endorsements, cancellations, reinstatements, etc. In this example scenario, we will begin at the re-entry of a new policy, meaning the original policy has already been made and filed. The need for the correction has already been identified and the reversal has already been completed. From the policy screen, you will simply select Yes for re-entry due to error correction. In doing so, a pop-up box will open with the following instruction. Please provide the parent policy ID of the transaction that this re-entry is correcting, and it's even going to tell you why. This will allow your re-entry to be tied back to the original transaction for timely reporting purposes. From here, simply enter the policy ID of the originally filed policy transaction and click the blue Enter button. And from here, you would proceed with your entry as normal. This new method requires very few additional steps for the agency user, but can provide significant assistance by eliminating time spent at a later date sorting out false positive transactions on the late filer's report. While only a few steps are needed, providing the correct information is of the utmost importance. By providing the correct policy ID, you can potentially reduce the number of false positive late filings. You should only use this enhancement if you have to make a correction that requires a re-entry, and you should only use the policy ID of that original transaction, and that original transaction must be a policy or binder that was filed by your agency. Otherwise, this enhancement will not work as intended. As with any system, if you use this enhancement in ways that it was not intended or as you've been instructed, you might make your late filing situation worse instead of better, and that is certainly not our goal. If the process is correctly executed and the original filing was not late, then the re-entry will simply not be shown on the late filer's report. If the original filing was late, the number of late days will reflect that original filing, not the later re-entry. Keep in mind, this is not a magic wand that eliminates late filings. For example, if someone forgot to make the submission or they just didn't know about the filing requirement. If it was late, it is simply late and no process or procedure can change that fact. Here are a few examples of when the correction reentry tieback should be used. If the original policy was submitted with an incorrect or possibly a typo in the policy number or the policy period or with incorrect premium or policy fee, this enhancement should not be used to fix or correct an issue date that was mistakenly not entered or input incorrectly. You should never fix an issue date to be a later date just to keep your late item off the late filers report. If you are uncertain if your situation warrants the correction reentry tieback, please contact the EFS Help Desk prior to making your reversal and reentry. Now that we have discussed how to tie the reentry back to an original filing, I want to be sure you are aware of all of the different ways to access the policy ID that is needed for this process. The most common method to access the policy ID is through Transaction Inquiry. Transaction Inquiry will display all transactions submitted electronically. To access Transaction Inquiry, simply click the blue Transaction Inquiry button shown in the left navigation panel. Then type the policy number shown on the original policy filing and click the blue Enter button. Again, this will display all EFS submitted transactions with this policy number. Once the results of your search are displayed, locate the original policy submission and click the sequence number to the left of your policy number. This will open the detail of that original policy entry. You will see that the policy ID is located above the policy number field. Secondly, you can access the policy ID by viewing the batch edit report that was generated with the original policy submission. Obviously, this method will require you to know the original report date and batch number of the original policy submission. To access the batch edit reports, simply click the blue reporting button shown in the left navigation panel. This will default to the Files and Reports page showing any batch edit reports from this current month. From here, you should navigate to the specific month that the original filing was made. To view the batch edit report, click the small diskette icon to the left of the batch. From the Batch Reports page, highlight the Batch Edit report and click View. This will open the batch edit in a PDF format. From here, you should locate the original policy filing and note the policy ID shown for the transaction. In my example, the original policy filing is for policy number RR123456. You will see that the policy ID for this filing is 108-76286. From here, you can print or save this page of your batch edit report. The policy ID can also be accessed by requesting an ad hoc or on-demand report. Our ad hoc reports can be found within Reporting. From any page, you can click Reporting from the left navigation panel. From the Files and Reports page, select Report Requests and then Special Reports. This will open the Ad hoc Reports page that lists your available reports. From here, you should request the individual policy transaction with securities listing report and click Select. For this report, you will simply type the policy number of the original policy filing on the Report Parameter Entry page in the policy number field, and then click the Enter button to generate the report. Once the report is complete, you can select Listings and then Special Reports. To view the requested report, you should click the small black binoculars icon to the left of the report name. This will open a PDF version of your report. You should locate the original policy filing, and you will see that the policy ID for this filing is to the left of the named insured and reads 107-11678. Additionally, the policy ID is provided within the download of successfully posted transactions for agents that programmatically file. For these programmatically filing agents, The file layout and data structure needed to execute this correction reentry tieback process can be found within our Programmer's Technical Reference Supplement Guide. As with any programmatic change, adequate testing is required in our test environment and should be coordinated with the EFS Help Desk. While the correction reentry tieback enhancement can be considered one of the most significant changes that have been made to our electronic filing system, its usage is technically optional, but we strongly encourage every agency to utilize this enhancement for its intended purpose, preventing false positive late filings due to error correction or reentry from being reported to the Texas Department of Insurance. Because late filings are subject to the assessment of fees, it is crucial that this information be provided to the stamping office. Providing this information will benefit the agency by reducing the number of false positive late filings that are identified for each agency. As always, if you have any questions or concerns, please call or email the EFS Help Desk as soon as possible. Don't wait. We look forward to hearing from you and helping you learn this new process. Thank you.